Hey everyone, welcome to another scene in Salem by Night, a New World of Darkness First Edition venue. Today's scene is going to take place at, well, a nameless bar in Salem. There's probably plenty of them. It's late at night tonight. Um, well, late at night for everyone else, but for the nightlife, it's just getting started. People are just starting to file in. It's Thursday, or no, it's Wednesday. My bad. Wednesday, and it's hump day. People want to go out, kind of celebrate, plan what the rest of their week's going to be looking like, planning for the weekend, all that. Um, and we've got two different individuals that are exceptional in their own right that are attending this bar or will come in at some point. Um, Sahira, for her part, is already in the bar. She probably got herself something very, very low on alcohol. Oh God, what's the word? Alcohol content.
Content?
Yes, it was that. Thank you. And she's just kind of sipping that. She's not looking to go full ham tonight. She's just enjoying the night, enjoying being out. She's probably spent some time mingling, and she'll open the scene up here, or whenever Garrett wants to show up, or just narrate his presence.
Okay. So Garrett, for his part, he's had a long day. He spent the day patrolling the park for any more encroaching spider demons. He spent what of the free time he had other than that doing some odd jobs for some of the people that he's encountered. Just scrounge up a little money. And he's decided, well, he's got $5-10 in his pocket. He might as well go get a beer. So he heads down to the local watering hole. Very easy to get in. And he heads up to the bar. It's a very bright smile on his face. He's probably about 6'2", not particularly heavily built, but wearing leather jacket, some fairly nondescript clothes, and he heads straight to the bar, orders a beer with a big bright smile. Even though he's got this big smile, you can kind of get this feeling that there's a little bit of danger there. He's kind of got that danger. Not really. It's really hard to describe, but essentially the same thing as the curse.
He's radiating the worst bad boy vibe ever.
Yeah, he's got the bad boy vibe. It's not super bad, but it's definitely there. Okay. Even though he's present for, he radiates, like when he walks and he draws the eye, even if just for a moment. He's got a very definable, palpable presence.
That's real. All right. As Garrett walks in, he'll notice a woman in there. A woman. She looks like she is of Arab descent. She's wearing a Muslim headscarf, which is fuck it. Let's go with black and red.
Okay.
She's got a t-shirt for some hip-hop artist that you've probably never heard of. And, one of those stylish leather jackets that women tend to get.
Okay.
Along with jeans and a pair of boots. Not combat boots, like all of my other female characters. Like literally all of them. This is the one that doesn't.
So Garrett will just he'll take a seat, probably like a chair or two down. He's very obviously not like avoiding her, but he doesn't seem like he's trying to be over friendly either. And as he sits down, he'll just flash smile, say, "Oh, hello there," and just wave before he orders his drink.
The woman kind of turns to him. Since she does have striking looks, she is drop dead gorgeous.
Okay.
Although not quite, ridiculously like, oh my god, she levels. She'll look over and say, well, good evening to you. How are you doing
Oh,
tonight?
good evening to you. Oh, my apologies, lass. Good evening to you as well.
It's
How are
fine.
you doing this morning, or this evening, I should say?
I'm doing fine. Just relaxing. Hump day,
I know that for certain. Good, nice to come by and get a nice drink after work, or a long day of running in the woods,
Running in the woods? Camping or something?
Some of the kids around here, they really don't have a sense of you shouldn't be camping with very little supplies in winter, and it's kind of an informal job, but help some people a little, sort of neighborhood watch sort of thing. Just patrol the paths, make sure everybody's all right. And fuck, I have to make a manipulation subterfuge because he's technically lying.
I'm not going to make the roll. I don't think she really cares.
Okay. I don't want to roll, but technically he is lying. But if we're just going to say, yeah, it's not a
you know how I feel about, manipulation subterfuge rolls. Roll that shit.
Mm-hmm.
All four of those. She would not make it at this point because she is just small talking.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a couple of
Don't get to re-roll that 10.
Fairly. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they show up slow when you re-roll.
Okay.
Dice.
All right, no biggie.
So you've been having a good time here in Salem. I trust everybody's been friendly.
We're a friendly bunch here, that's for sure.
I am glad to hear it. Pretty crazy things going here. And just because I got caught in this stew and I came into town the other day, evidently there's a curfew out, so you just got to be careful when you're out after dark.
Yeah. I am wondering what's up with that. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been up with the news as often as I should.
It's kind of hard to explain, honestly. From what I hear, they've been having a lot of small issues with, kind of snaps his fingers for a few minutes. What's the word? I'm sorry, I'm just having issues this evening. And I haven't even started drinking, and he holds up his beer with a, sideways smile. Burglaries, I believe it was explained to me that they've been having a lot of problems, so they're trying to cut down on that.
All right. I'm sorry, I don't mean to... Let me know if I offend you with this, but I couldn't happen but to notice your accent. Have you been here long?
Well, I've been here 2-3 days. Not very long, honestly. But it's a very, very nice town, and I've been welcomed fairly nicely, I'd say.
All right. Well, it's good to know that you're making your place here. Forgive me, this is going to be me being a bit nosy, but what brought you here?
Well, it's, as they say, the romantic power of dreams. He just gives a very wry grin.
I completely understand.
He chuckles. Hey, so did you decide to get to drink this fine evening, lass?
I've got mine, thank you. Unless you're up for just paying for me.
I had a character, he asked what she was drinking.
Oh, he asked what? Okay, I'm sorry about
You're good.
that. Slight retcon. Sahira will say, fuck it, I said she was drinking light, but this is going to be the one stereotype of my characters that Sahira will go with. She will say, a little drink called Death on the Vine. Have you
Oh,
heard of it?
I don't think I have. Where I come from, we usually just stick to really simple drinks. Although I do remember a couple of fairly fun nights on the town. But at that point, I wasn't really asking what was in the drinks or what they were called. He chuckles.
Yeah, well, this year it's a drink it's basically white wine mixed with vodka. A lot of my friends used to tell me that it's absolutely terrible, but it's one of the few mixed drinks I can stand.
Aye, that's definitely sounds interesting. Me and still haven't quite got the hang of this American money system, so I'm just sticking to something simple and cheap here.
I've got you this time.
Oh. He kind of shrugs. Out of character. I'm not. Was she saying she understood, or I'm kind of confused?
Oh, he was saying, okay, he was saying he doesn't really get the, American money.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he's only been here for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Sahira is just assuming that he probably doesn't have like a crazy amount of cash on him right now.
Yeah.
Since he said he likes to stick simple and mixed drinks usually cost more than like straight drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So she was just saying she'd be down to pay for a Death on the Vine if you wanted to try it.
Okay. And he'll shrug and say, "You don't have to do that, lass. Don't need to feel obligated by my pity stories." He kind of just has that grin where it's very clear he's just joking around with the pity stories part.
She'll smile to him and say, "Hey, no pity here. Just helping out your common man, right?"
Aye, and that's a very good thing to do. Not enough people do that these days. It's quite a shame, honestly.
Got that right. As she'll order the drink for Garrett.
He will when like the drink gets there, he'll kind of it'll just a little bit of a blush. He'll say, "Oh, I do thank you, ma'am. If you'd like, I can help you out with something in payment. Just I can give you my number, and if you need help with some things, you can just call me up, and I'll see what I can do."
Well, sure thing. I'd appreciate that. Oh my God, I am so sorry. We've just been sitting here chatting. I completely neglected to get your name.
Oh, my apologies, and he'll hold out a hand for her to shake. My name is Garrett MacLeod.
Garrett MacLeod. I like that name. My name's Sahira. She'll extend her hand.
It's a very it's not particularly gentle. It's not particularly like firm. It's just very normal, friendly handshake. Goes,
Okay.
"That is a very pretty name. Don't hear names like that often back home, but it just comes with the territory of living in a small town, I suppose."
Yeah, I can get that. As the bartender sets down the drink, Sahira will look over to Garrett and ask, "So, Garrett, what kind of things do you do? If you don't mind my asking."
Well, I don't mind at all. I mean, I offered you. Want to know what kind of skills I have, I suppose. I worked as a bouncer for a couple of years, so I got most of the skills you'd associate with that sort of career, and I can sing me away too, and I do say so myself. And a little bit of knowledge here and there, things I picked up during my youth.
She'll nod. Man of many talents.
I suppose you can say that.
So, you came here a few days ago. you came here to follow your dreams, or at least that's what the implication was. It almost sounds like you followed a lady here. She'll
Well,
say with a bit of a wry smile.
I suppose you could say that in a manner of speaking. He chuckles.
Manner of speaking. She'll look somewhat curious.
It's kind of difficult to explain.
Oh, maybe you followed a man here. If that's the case, even more.
He chuckles. Well, personally, it's not much of a problem either way with me. But it's just a bit more complicated. Mixture of circumstances led to me coming here. He just sits there very kind of drinking. Very kind of drinking. Wow, I just Englished great there.
No, it's fine.
After a moment of just very peacefully sitting there drinking, he kind of looks around. So what do you think of this town? I don't know how long you've been here, but I suppose just being here, you probably have some opinions of it.
I've been here for a few years now. So it looks like she's thinking about that for a minute, trying to, come up with a good answer. She finally just snaps her fingers and thinks of an appropriate answer and says, "This is probably one of the most layered places that I've ever been to. If that makes any sense."
I suppose I can understand that for certain.
There's many faces to this place, many dynamics to it that I don't think much of anyone can fully understand. They can understand a part of it for sure, but the whole puzzle, the whole picture, as it were, would probably be difficult to see all of it with just one set of eyes.
That does make sense, for certain. And we'll just kind of lean back in the little bar stool as far as we can without falling off. So you say you've been here a few years. Did you move here, or were you born here?
I moved here.
So I hear that this place has got some very fascinating history. Did you ever, I don't know, investigate any of it? Look into some of the witch trials and stuff? I hear those were a very turbulent time in American history.
They definitely were. Definitely a bit of a silly time, to say the least.
I suppose I can understand that. My own home, we haven't had such good history either at times, so no use blaming other countries for the same thing your own country did, I say.
Mm-hmm. I know before I moved, and even when I first moved, I read a few books on the witch trials. It really is some fascinating stuff. Albeit still silly.
Especially to us in the modern day, it sounds very silly, this sort of idea. But I can also understand with living in such a uneducated time. I suppose I can understand if not sympathize, but I suppose I can understand where they were coming from.
When it gets down to it, it's a very human thing. We unfortunately, no matter how open-minded we try to be, the other is always going to be scary to us, at least a bit. And while we've made a lot of inroads to get better with it, it's always going to be a problem as long as we have an impulse of self-preservation. Not to say it's dangerous, but it's hardwired.
Aye, that does make sense.
However, that is why we, as a species, have been blessed with the capability of empathy to make the other and the different not so much so.
I agree with you. It's definitely very, very true. And he just sits there, just very quietly sipping his drink. So would you like to hear a song, I suppose? I don't really know what else there is in this bar. Is kind of quiet at the moment.
You know what? Sure. We could use some livening up.
And he'll smile and he won't even stand up. He'll just kind of churn in the bar stool. And he will start singing. It's a very, not really like a very emotional song. It's just like a little bar song, get everybody excited and wound up. And it's a fairly good song. It's not like blow you out of the water amazing, but it definitely shows he's got some training.
Sahira will do a step above a golf clap to show that she's actually expressing enthusiasm for him.
Yeah, it's only about like a maybe a minute and a half song, just an old Scottish, bar song, tavern song. And I'm assuming a couple people will join in, but it's no big deal. We don't have to worry about that. And when he's done, he'll just kind of take another sip and turn back to her. So, what do you think? What do you think of the music?
You have a very beautiful voice. If you haven't tried it already, I think plenty of these clubs and bars could use someone to liven up the night.
Yeah, I'll admit I've been thinking about it. Got a few other things to worry about at the moment, but it's definitely something that I've been taking under consideration.
I mean, it would be pretty easy money. You come in, sing a nice tune or two, probably wouldn't even have to be there the whole night.
Could definitely see that. He's very slowly going through this drink. By the way, he's not like you know gulping through. He definitely seems to be enjoying it.
Sahira will, at this point, she'll kind of wave the bartender over, kind of whisper something in their ear. They'll nod, and they'll go, and they'll actually start putting on some background music. Um, this is not Chaos Theory in New York, so it's not going to be fucking hopping techno beats. It's probably, you know what? Fuck it. It's gonna be a slow, really chill instrumental hip hop beat,
Mm-hmm.
and Sahira will kind of bob her head to that for a little bit, just as a sense of the background. And the mood of the crowd adjusts itself accordingly to the mood of the music getting played.
Yeah.
And as it starts, Sahira will look over and say, "Something to listen to when you're not gracing us plebs with your voice."
He just chuckles. Oh, yes, is definitely a nice tune.
Do they? Okay, of course they have this genre of music in all sorts of parts of the world, but is it prevalent where you lived?
Aye, definitely in the big cities. You'll hear it, of course, from individual people that like it in the villages. But in the small villages where I grew up, those sorts of places, it really depends on the person. And at the taverns, where the men and women would go to work away some of the stress of the week, it's usually just whatever they can sing themselves.
Makes sense.
He's just sitting there very quietly drinking. His like at this point, it's probably almost all gone. So it's just very to finishing off the drink.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'll tell you what. If I come across something that needs doing, not necessarily in my neck of the woods, but elsewhere, I can give you a call for sure.
Hey, that definitely sounds like it to be perfectly workable.
Just so you know, I got you. She'll kind of make that finger gun and do that click. It looks really geeky, but yeah.
He'll just chuckle and wink at her.
Sahira will snap around on her bar stool to the rest of the bar, looking out to them, and she kind of just looks over at Garrett. She's like, I'm going to, actually, you know what? Before I actually say this, I'm going to put up a disclaimer. I am going to have a stereotypical, cliched bar conversation with you right now. But, and she'll go back to what she was saying. You ever really thought about what the rest of the people in these bars are doing? Or taverns?
I suppose not. I usually just go with the business of, with the thought process of if it's not affecting me, it's not really my business. I just keep an eye out for what I need to, really.
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, it is none of our business at the end of the day. But since when have people been known to mind their own business?
Aye, that is true. He chuckles.
Yeah. I'm not saying actually, go in and try to eavesdrop, but it's always a curious thing for me. Just why are they doing all of this? Like, what reason do they have? Do they have a business meeting? Are they trying to unwind after a long day, or are they just fucking bored?
I suppose it could really be a combination of any of these things.
Yes, but it's... I mean, just the very concept of it, when you get down to it, like, when you want to break it down to just bare literal, to a literal phrase, it's to escape the banality of my life. I come to a place that specializes in the sale and consumption of intoxicants.
I suppose when you put it like that, it definitely is kind of interesting.
Yeah, which means that it does beg the question. Like, I mean, me, I'll be completely honest with you. I am here because I am straight out bored.
At least you're honest.
But what about that guy over there? And she'll kind of low-key point to someone that's just kind of, clinking at a table like alone or something. And, like, she doesn't get, like, any smiles on her face. Like, it doesn't look like she's actively ridiculing anyone. But she says, I wonder why he's doing what he's doing. He looks so sad, so lost. What's driving him to that? Does he come here every day?
I suppose those are all interesting questions for certain.
I don't know. To be honest, again, these are just things that occupy my mind at the dullest of times. Not like right now, because you are the complete and utter opposite of dull.
He just chuckles. Well, you don't have to butter me up, as he takes another sip.
I don't think it's quite about buttering up. I think it's about letting people know that their presence is something that is appreciated.
I suppose that's understandable.
Since, I mean, we're so quick and so easy to just hide real emotions. Like, for example, like, I assume that, jobs you've had before this, there's someone that you just, or no, not even jobs, social circles. There was someone that you didn't like. And you just really didn't like them, but you never told them. And then we go for the flip side. There was someone that you enjoyed being around. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic too. We're so scared of our own thoughts, of our own feelings, and that's part of the problem with the other, and part of the problem with different ties into that.
I suppose that's true.
I'm sorry, I know I'm just rambling. I'm just making conversation.
No, you don't have to worry about it, lass. It's no big deal. Conversation's good.
It's mostly just there has to be at least some thoughts beyond the mere superficial small talk that we aren't afraid to express.
I can understand that. Whatever. And he kind of just has that sideways grin again. Tonight, I don't know. I had a stressful couple of days, and deep thought isn't particularly my thing, I suppose you could say.
They'll notice that a man walks into the bar. He looks stressed, but as though he's kind of unwinding, as though he's handling it. Probably the kind of deal where he works a very stressful job and he's coming off. And he does a quick look around, and he'll go over to the bar, sit down, order whatever's on tap, and he'll just kind of take a seat, and it's one of those things where it's probably his first time in here, or he doesn't look like he knows anyone in the place, but it does look like he's open to socialize.
Okay. So immediately what this dude's going to say, oh man, his name is also Garrett, this is going to be fun.
That's what presents for.
Yeah, there's a Scottish man sitting at the front of the bar. He very much takes up the room when he walks in, or when he sits there rather. And next to him is a quite attractive looking Arab woman with a headscarf, a hijab, black and red in color, with a t-shirt for an artist that he likely has never heard of.
1 second. Is it a band or art?
Hip-hop artist.
There's a funny reason you may know that, but we'll let it go.
I'll give. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get you into the scene. I'll give it to you. You know what? Just make up a random artist, like a random underground hip hop artist. It's that T-shirt.
Would you take a, I don't know, Wits Streetwise roll?
You can make it if you want to. I'm willing to just give it to you if it means you get into the scene.
Yeah, he'll actually notice her shirt, and I can actually throw out an honest underground hip hop artist,
Sure, go for it.
and his brow will raise, and he'll come over, and he'll point at her shirt, like politely, not like hey, there's your tits. Kind of politely motion to her shirt, and he'll say, he'll mention the band, and he'll say, "Is that a? Are my eyes wrong? Is that a Chemical Method? Let's go with Chemical Method."
Sure. She'll look down and say, "Why, yes, it is. You don't happen to be a listener, do you?"
On and off. It's not really my thing. I mean, I don't not appreciate the genre. It's just it's kind of one of those things that's so underground. It's hard to find. I mean, I know every once in a while it'll pop up on Spotify, or you'll hear it, kind of in the background at Starbucks. But I haven't seen anything on them. I'm not crazy. I used to do outreach, and a lot of the kids that I worked with, they really into that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, I mean, even if you aren't, super into, even if you aren't super into them, it's definitely impressive that you even know about them in the first place.
I'll kind of give a soft smile. He has a very warm, sort of an almost kind of angelic quality about him. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I can dig
Kind of
it.
that protector guardian kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll smile. I'm being completely rude. He'll extend a hand to her and then him. He'll say, Garrett Nichols.
Well, she'll firstly look over to the other Garrett and say, "Looks like we've got twinsies." And then she'll look over and say, "Real talk though, Garrett, it's nice to meet you. My name's Sahira."
Okay, I'm sorry, one more time? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, she said, "It's nice to meet you, Garrett. My name is Sahira."
Oh, no, that was in game. I'm sorry. He said, he didn't catch her name.
Okay, she would have said that again anyway.
Okay, so it's, I don't mean to be rude, but like the desert, but Sahira?
I suppose it does sound a bit like Sahara. I actually did not think of that. If you need, I can write it down for you.
No, I think I got it. It's Sahira, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. He'll kind of look over at his twinsy, apparently.
He'll just hold his hand out for him to shake. My
I'll
name's
give him
Garrett
that
McLeod.
firm shake without it being overbearing. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. You would have noticed he would have given the exact same sort of handshake back.
So, is this a particularly happening spot?
I mean, just kind of look around. I suppose it is for right now.
Gotcha. I realized I should be getting out after work. I've been going home the past 2 weeks and just kind of, going home. And I didn't think that was probably the sanest thing for my mental health, so I decided to kind of not go home tonight.
We thrive on interaction. And see, she'll look at McLeod and say, "That is a reason for coming out. Staying sane."
I suppose it is, lass.
And she'll look over to James and Garrett and say, "My apologies. It was just a conversation topic. It was less a conversation topic and more something I was ranting about."
What was it? If you don't mind, of course.
Oh, it was mostly just I was sharing my fascination with the motivations that people have for coming out to bars. It wasn't necessarily a serious thing. It was just something to fill the air with, I suppose. A little bit of unfiltered thought.
I think with me, it was just a situation where I realized I was getting up, going to work, working, and then going home.
Absolutely. Like, and you just wanted to break the cycle, which is totally legit.
Well, I have a really, I guess what people call a high-stress job,
Hold on.
and I kind of really need to keep my head clear. Not to throw everything at you, but like story all at once. But I'm a dispatch for the police department. I'm a civilian unit.
Okay.
I used to be an officer, a patrol officer, but uh, I had to take out. I had to retire.
Mhm.
So I was transferred to civilian.
Do you prefer your new job over your old one, or do
I
you?
lost my head on a call, and
Hold on.
kind of started to choke after that. Every time I was on duty, and I don't think that the kind of stress that the job called for was necessarily was the right kind of stimulation for me. I hope that makes sense.
It does. It does. So here it looks like she's trying to form her words so that way she doesn't end up accidentally insulting him.
It would get very interesting, trust me.
Oh, sorry?
I said out of game it would get very interesting.
Right? She'll say, I can definitely see why that job would wear anyone down over time. I don't know if anyone's told you, but needing to step away from it to something else is not, it's not a negative reflection on you.
He'll nod. He'll kind of smile at her politely. Like it's like he's listening, except that,
She'll,
so
oh, sorry.
he'll just smile at her and he'll say, so are you the thing is he's got a question for her, but he's looking at Garrett like he doesn't want to leave him out of the conversation.
Garrett, for his part, is just kind of leaning back a bit, just his big old grin on his face, just listening.
Actually, he has a eureka. He'll say, Garrett, obviously it seems like you've come to us from Scotland. I don't mean to assume, but he's like, dude, I'm sorry.
He just shrugs. Nothing to assume, really. I mean, I
Um,
got the accent.
Where are you from? Kind of say politely to Saphira.
I'm out of character. Fuck it, I'm just going to make this up because I didn't think of it beforehand.
Garrett!
She'll say, I'm from New York, actually.
Oh yeah, nice. Quick out of game note: is she a magi?
Yes, but she did not awaken in New York. She awakened in Salem.
Okay, good.
Well, don't worry about that. Like, I completely forgot about the connection to your game when I said that.
I was gonna point that out.
Yeah.
You might not want Devin to kill you.
Retroactive death.
Oops. No, yeah, he'll say I'm from Jersey actually. so not too far off. Well, and you, Garrett, other Garrett one.
I from a little village up north of Glasgow.
And Glasgow's the one that's the. It's like he's trying to like recall geography there.
One of the main cities. We got Glasgow and Edinburgh. Glasgow's the one with more of the crime. Kind of just shrugs.
So what brought you to the States?
Give you the same answer I gave Miss Sayer over there. I like to call it the romantic power of dreams. Kind of just shrugs. Just like that grin's still on his face.
Can you hear that? That's kind of what drew me to Salem. I'm kind of chew his lip.
Oh, sorry, out of game. I didn't catch all that. What drew Garrett to Salem?
Oh, he said it was something similar. Something similar had drawn him there.
Okay, and I assume Garrett said the same thing to Garrett, which was something about dreams and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you're gonna laugh, okay? He'll kind of hold a hand up as to why I moved to Salem. I'm not even kidding, actually. I needed to move, and I was basically offered a full transfer. Any department in the country basically would take me. They'd make it work. And I was, and I'm not kidding actually, so don't laugh too hard. It was around Halloween time, and the movie Hocus Pocus was on. And about right before I was kind of sitting back and I was like, where am I going to go? I mean, I've lived my entire life in Jersey, I'm just, what am I going to do? And the kid was bitching in the movie about moving to Salem. And I was thinking, where am I going to move? And this kid screamed out something about Salem. And I was like, okay, let's go to Salem. Look, I know it's totally random and really stupid, but that's how I ended up in Salem.
No. It was impulsive, but impulsive doesn't necessarily mean bad. And it doesn't necessarily mean stupid either. Do you find your decision to be stupid at all, now that you've made it?
I don't know yet. I'm still kind of in that haze of just having moved here. But I've got my Chinese place. I've gotten my Chinese place.
That is step one to your end not being the wrong one.
We got the Chinese place and the grocery store.
Step two.
There we go. We're good.
Next thing you need is a favorite gas station.
I actually don't know how to pump gas.
You don't know how?
No, I've never had to do it. Well, no, now I've had to do it, and I don't know how because I'm from Jersey and we don't pump our gas there.
What do you do? Out of curiosity, then.
You pull up, and the attendant comes over, and you tell them what you want, and they service you.
Oh my, that is interesting.
Any gas station you go to. You're actually not even allowed to pump your gas in the whole state of New Jersey. This is a legit thing, by the way. We don't pump our gas.
Really? That's super interesting. That's so funny.
I swear to God, you don't pump your gas in Jersey. It's hilarious. People who are like long-time residents don't know how to pump their gas. It's so funny. Shit. But he's like, no, I've been driving for I'm 29 now, and I've been driving since I was 15, and I've literally never really had to pump my gas. Anytime I've gone outside, like, outside of Jersey, which I obviously do. I used to go into the city, enough, or Penn, go down to Pennsylvania, stuff like that. And every time I ever went, because it's so common in the area, you can get an attendant. You just go to the full service pump. There you go. And so I never really pumped my gas, so I had to learn how to pump my gas when I moved up here. And yeah, that's a humbling situation there. Yeah.
Okay. When I ask you this next question, I want you to know that I am completely, legitimately, genuinely very curious about it.
It's gonna be
But was it difficult for you?
Yes. So this little 16-year-old homecoming queen with beautiful blonde extensions that I'm sure her father paid a ton for. I'm not assuming, by the way. I could see the little... Yeah. Saw me struggling. Mind you, he's like 6'3", so he's a big guy. Saw me struggling to put... You'll understand why in a second. A disclaimer to all that I did. To put the snap his fingers, the part where the gas comes out of.
I don't know the official name for it, but I know what you're talking about.
The nozzle. There we go.
Yeah.
The nozzle into the gas tube. I don't know. And she looks over at me, and she says in a very proud voice, "You just need to stick it in and give it a strong shake." And she marches over from her pump and says, "Here, let me help you, mister." She proceeded to teach me how to pump my gas. And it's the only time I ever want when I'm positive as a high schooler to tell me to do that. I was very embarrassed. What about those Cubs? 108 years, huh?
Sorry?
The Chicago Cubs winning the World Series, 108 years.
Oh, you're talking about sports ball. Awesome. Sure.
Garrett just kind of chuckles at Zahara's comment.
Sports ball. Are you a soccer fan? Is that what it is?
I'm overall just not much of a sports person. But don't get me wrong, I do enjoy hearing about it, since it's something that people seem to get very passionate about.
I don't know the first thing.
Sorry?
He'll shake his head and he says, "I don't know the first thing."
Oh, okay. Thank God. Okay. Whew. We don't have to overcome all those hurdles of trying to figure out who goes for what team.
I know I look like I probably pray to the Packers. It's a football team, right?
Yes, I remember because everyone's been making fun of them.
I don't know why, but yes, you're right. So, who do you support?
Okay. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I am one of those people that supports the team with the coolest colors.
You mean like the Saints?
I mean, I don't know. She'll just kind of shrug.
Black and gold is pretty classy.
It is. It really is.
It's really nice. And they've got like the fleur-de-lis on their helmets.
Garrett just chuckles a little.
What?
Is he sipping his drink?
Are you not into fleur-de-lis? Is that too... Did I pronounce it wrong? It's Florida.
Oh, don't mind me. Just find your guys' conversation very, very interesting.
He kind of scratches his head like,
So she'll look over to Werewolf Garrett and ask him, "So are you big into sports? I figured that over back in Europe, I figure football is big there, right?"
I never personally got into it. It was more of a rugby kid when I was young. I
Okay.
mean, mind you, when I say that, I don't mean, we followed professional teams or anything. We just liked playing rugby when we were young.
That I could get down with.
That actually looks pretty interesting. I'm more of the artist type, but mind you, this guy looks like he's a fucking linebacker. Like this guy's big. He's a big boy. He's like cut and everything. There's like muscles.
Well, I mean,
Okay, he's got like.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sure, you're good, man.
I was just saying, bro, man did say he did like field work and shit back in the day, so like you can't just be like out of shape.
It does stand to mention that like Garrett is kind of like giving him that once over every once in a while. Like it's very, very obviously he's trying to hide it behind like sipping his drink, but yeah.
Let me toss some dice for you here.
Now I'm gonna want to roll. I want to see if Garrett's checking Garrett out in that kind of way.
Oh god, I just realized that is a thing. Okay.
Garrett notices the glances. He's not putting it together yet that it's
Let me check
Looking what?
your empathy score. Sorry, guys. All right, yeah, I got it.
No, but I'm actually really into art actually, and I don't do it. I don't practice any particular discipline of art, but I very much enjoy it.
Right. Everybody has their things they're into. By the way, Tim, yeah, she definitely noticed. That's the same kind of looks that Garrett was giving her earlier, but he stopped giving her those a while ago.
Oh, okay. It's like that.
It's like that.
It looks like we're all going home together. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not down.
Spear's not going to say anything. She just kind of wants to see how this dynamic kind of plays out.
But are you familiar with Salvador Dali?
Name sounds familiar. Might have heard of him once or twice in class.
So, have you, Sophia?
I don't believe so.
So Salvador Dali was this artist. He's the one that, like, the quickest way to know him is he's the one that made the painting with the little melting clocks. And Dali was also an author. And in his autobiography, he goes into speaking about how the different textures of food were very important to him. That it was probably the most important thing that came down to what he liked to eat. And he said at one point that he didn't like spinach, especially cooked spinach, because he found it to be too amorphous. And he found that the texture of it was too blob-like. It didn't have any structure that he liked to eat. Things that were more strong, firmer texture. And do you know what he said his favorite food was? Chew his lip looking at her.
Oh, out of character. Was he asking her a question?
Yeah.
My bad. What was that?
He asked her what she thought Salvador Dali's favorite food was by what he said.
So something strong, something tough. Sarah will say, it sounds like he's describing a type of meat.
Well, he said that his favorite food was armor.
Oh, okay.
But here's the deal. You think about it, that makes absolutely no sense, does it? It's so fantastic. But he went on to explain that his favorite food was shellfish.
The shell is good. Okay.
I always found that play on words, that perspective, that what seems so fantastical and whimsical and as though somebody's possibly even speaking madness was in fact quite cogent and logical.
That is quite interesting.
Oh, Dali was a wonderful man. He led such an interesting and fascinating life, but he was troubled. He had the same problem that most men whose minds are blown open with the gift of creativity, that it doesn't know when to stop sometimes. The poor soul will rest. Who's your favorite artist?
Ooh, favorite what now?
Who's your favorite artist?
Zira will stop and she'll look and she'll think. Oh, that's a tough question. That is a very tough question. You know what? I've got one. And it's absolutely hilarious because I don't even know his name. I just heard a song that he recorded while I was just going about finding things to listen to. However, there was a lyric in his song that stuck with me.
I'll nod.
The real revolution happens right inside of you.
I'll smile at that. Can I ask you a personal question? And I don't mean to offend you.
Okay, go for it.
I've noticed you're wearing a hijab. Are you of the faith? Do you follow Islam?
Yes, although to be honest, I am not the best follower.
He'll look to see if she has a drink.
She does have a drink.
He'll kind of his brow furrows for a second, and it looks like he's almost not embarrassed, but kind of unsure of how to say something. And he'll say, I am too, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I know that. Again, all-American white bread.
Yeah, she's like double like surprised. Like she's very pleasantly surprised to hear about this.
Do you want to know how it happened?
Yes, I would love to know that story. As she will put her drink down and then turn to Garrett.
Okay, you want the long or the short of it?
Long.
Okay, it might get a little TMI, but is that okay?
I do not mind TMI.
Okay. Well, my parents were really troubled, and they were honestly plagued with a lot of addiction, and just not good parents, you know what I mean? And they actually just up and left when I was 16. And I found myself homeless. And I got a job in the back of house at a restaurant. And one of the dishwashers there was young like me, a year older than me, and he had noticed that I was sleeping in the stairwell behind the restaurant at night. And so he invited me home. And his family, they practice Islam. And they took me in. And they didn't force it down my throat. They didn't nothing ever. They never said or did anything. They just took me in and treated me like a son. And I started learning about the faith on my own. You know, I started seeing what it was for what it was and the beauty in it. And I started off small, you know, just going to mosque and just kind of just learning the ways of the faith. And eventually one day when I was 22, I converted. And I've been a follower ever since. Obviously, I'll kind of actually pick his drink up and offer to clink it next to hers. I obviously don't follow every tenet of the faith, but I'll shrug. I'm fairly respectful.
I found that more than the tenets, more than the book taught us, I cannot point to a time in which I prayed, which I felt Allah the most. The times I felt the most were the times outside of all of those. It's when I felt, not when I just called, not when I just worshipped. So I see completely where you're coming from with that story.
It's when you felt moved.
Yes.
Exactly. I would feel so weak and alone. Like everything had abandoned me, and then just this spark would light inside of me. And I just didn't feel so alone anymore.
Sahira will nod with a very, very low-key smile. I get you. Yeah.
This isn't exactly the best time. But that's a subject we probably shouldn't breach right now.
Right.
I kind of smile. I look back at Garrett.
He's just sitting there. He's watching, but he hasn't said anything. He's still got that, just a grin on his face.
Any of your thoughts?
Well, it's your guys' faith, isn't it? My thoughts. It's one of the things to have, isn't it?
You know what I think the hardest part of being faithful is? Of holding true to a belief?
Go ahead. I'd like to hear that.
I don't know how to word it. I'm trying to think of how to say it. Trying to recall why you hold to it when times are low. When you're just at that point where it's the darkest and you just don't understand how you could be forsaken or why things could be so terrible. And not just a bad day, but I mean terrible. I've had to respond to situations that I will carry around with me for the rest of my life. And I was a witness. I don't even want to know what the people who were left to live that have to deal with. And I ask myself in those moments, how could Allah do this? How could a being that claims to love us and be interventionist to, as it would seem metaphorically, he does the air quotes, have our back? How could such terrible things happen? Especially as it seems sometimes to those who deserve it the least. And you know what the worst part is? I don't have an answer. I don't have platitudes to assuage my feelings to make it all better. I just have faith that my mind isn't equipped to understand. And that I may never, honestly. There has to be a reason. There has to be a point. I only know one truth in life, so I'll kind of shrug.
She'll nod.
You know what that one truth is?
Sure, let's hear it.
I was going to say something really smart ass, but it's at the end of the day, all we have is each other.
I think that one truth is the first step to the answer that you're looking for.
I'll nod.
If he intervened for everybody all the time, why have free will in the first place? Why give us the ability to create, to experience? And while I'm not going to say that the awful things that happen in life are part of a grand plan, because I don't think they are, I do think that he gave us the capability to stop and overcome those things. Since
He looks as though what she said genuinely was one of those deep things that, like, resonated with his mind.
mm-hmm.
Like, chick woke as fuck.
Kinda.
He has that chick woke as fuck face. Yeah, he'll nod at her and say, that was deep. Yeah, wow, that was good. I like that.
Really, it was just something I've had a lot of time to think about things like that too. So she'll shrug.
He'll look back at Garrett.
Yes, it's just sitting there. We're just watching. It's got a more contemplative look on his face, but he's still very quiet.
Kind of chew his lip for a moment. I have to admit, you're very fascinating in your silence.
Oh. What do you mean?
No, just you're so quiet. It's not a bad thing. It just makes me want to open you more.
Well,
That came out. I'm sorry. That
he kind of chuckles.
flew out of my mouth. Didn't. Yeah.
No, that's good. It's an unfiltered thought.
He chuckles.
He'll kind of
Sometimes.
roll his eyes heavenwards playfully and kind of look over at her and say, darling, if my unfiltered thoughts came out right now, this building would set alight.
Really?
I'll look back at him.
Oh no, so here, just sips her drink.
Is it
out of
tea? Did
character
it turn
for
into
Bastos is
tea?
very curious now, but she has rules on using that.
Do you want to know what that thought was? Kind of at Saphira.
Sure.
Oh, they're rather unholy.
Okay.
He'll lean over to her. I have to find you in Messenger because I'm typing it to you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy, we have to go back months.
Hold on, I'm just gonna PM you right quick, so that way I can shoot back up to the top.
Okay. Oh girl. Oh girl. I love it, my friends. Okay, so he'll bite his lip and then he'll softly lean in and whisper. That's what he says. But it doesn't come across maybe as like I'll type it. What I'm gonna say.
Okay. So that's an okay. So here it gets that. She would respond with.
He'll pull back a little bit, give her some space.
Oh, she was gonna whisper something back to him.
Oh, okay, well, we lean him back in.
Yeah.
Bring his ear to her
Garrett,
lips. Looking at Garrett
Garrett.
as he does.
Garrett at this point is just like gone back to sipping his drink. He's narrowed his eyes watching him a little bit, but it's more in like a curious way than anything.
I swear to God, it's not as bad as you might think. I think Tim can back me up there.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really isn't.
He wants your class ring.
Right.
What? He's a nice guy. If he were kinfolk, he'd have the merit good old boy. I mean, it doesn't mean he wouldn't ride you like an Italian stallion into a Sicilian battle, but made the man bisexual. I think myself. Merry Christmas.
Okay, like to be fair, this is not Soren that I've made again, nor is it really Avernus.
I know. Just notice all of my characters are either gay or straight. I never make bisexual characters.
That's fair.
I love how both of our things were nowhere near as naughty as they sounded like.
Right? Joey,
It sounds like we're gonna go back to the house and have an orgy. But
right?
in church, apparently.
Although we'll tell you what we said out of character, Joey. Okay?
Okay.
He'll nod and pull back. I know nobody likes secrets, but it wasn't that bad. I'll say to Garrett.
It really wasn't. I promise.
I promise. We were talking about church.
Yeah.
I'll shrug. I didn't say it does anything bad, so.
Did you just call me son?
Character.
What did you say again?
Oh, it's his soul, not son. Call me a lad anyways if I were so inclined.
Zahira
He
will,
mutters something.
Zahira will get up right quick and say, "You guys, excuse me. I have to take a quick trip to the ladies' room. I will be back shortly." As Tim has to step away from his computer right quick.
Kim?
Were you gonna try to catch what he said, by the way?
Yeah, I might as well roll to try and catch it. What's composure?
I rolled for him.
Ha. I have 2 successes.
Keep in mind I love you and I'm not trying to fuck you with every character I have. That's what he muttered.
What did he mutter?
Look on Facebook.
Okay, I'm looking. Let me reload. It's not coming through.
I'll put it in chat then.
Okay.
Did you get it now? Okay, it's in chat. I'm shitting or not. That's what he actually muttered.
Garrett will just get this glint in his eye. He says, "Oh, is that so, lad?"
Maybe.
He just chuckles and goes back to sipping his drink.
He'll blush and look down into his. This is the best Christmas present ever. Notice I always play other Garrett Straight characters.
Garrett will just like call the bartender over and order a beer for other Garrett.
I'll smile at him. So what do you do?
This and that. Little things around town, really.
I don't know the city very well. Like I said, I haven't been here very long. I don't really know anybody to show me around. ...
I understand. Well, if you'd like, I can help you out a bit, you know.
I couldn't hear you out again. What did you say?
He said, I know how that feels, but I can help you out if you'd like.
Oh, yeah?
Aye.
What do you have in mind?
Lots of things, to be honest. So he just sits back as he's enjoying his beer. So,
I have a proposal for you.
oh,
We'll trade.
well, I'm listening.
You can ask me any question you want. Like, open book. Anything. For one in return.
All right. So he'll lean in, not quite into his personal space, but fairly close, and I'll take a deep breath and I'll say, "Tell me why is it you smell so good, lad?"
Like, smell so good?
Aye.
I just took a shower before I came here, and I'm wearing cologne and actually practice good hygiene.
Hey. Well, that was my question. He just winks at him. He hasn't moved back, by the way.
Yeah, he'll kind of lean in himself a little bit, and he says, "Are you checking me out?"
You could say that.
Okay. He'll lean back.
Garrett will lean back slowly as well. He just has this shit-eating grin on his face right now. This big old, it's not even really a Cheshire cat grin, it's just a big old grin.
So, so how old are you?
Mid-20s, 22 to be exact. Usually I say mid-20s because people assume I'm a lot older than I actually am.
I'm, let's go with 29.
He chuckles. Well, maybe it's not me that should be calling you daddy then, isn't it?
Don't bite his lip. It's along those lines. He's older.
He just chuckles.
I have to make a roll because of you.
Oh boy.
Kelly, I love you so much. Joey, pray my dice. I don't know if I want them to fail or succeed.
Oh boy.
Yes, look at all that failure.
Oh no. Oh no. You
Fail
got a
again.
10.
Fail again. Fail again. Yes. You can choose to say this instead of just blurting out like a. So he'll lean in, and he'll lean to his ear, and I don't know how open you are out of game with flirtation.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good at a game?
Should be fine.
Okay. He'll lean in and he'll say, if you want, I'll roll social for it if you want.
You're good.
He'll say, say it again.
Well, what would you like me to say? I beg your pardon. He says he's got that grin on his face.
Not that one.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know what you mean then, sir.
Well, not sir.
Oh. So what I'm hearing is you'd like me to call you daddy again. He says that in a whisper.
Just one more time in my ear, a little slower. I didn't catch it the first time.
And he'll lean in to his ear and say it really slowly. As you like, daddy. And then he just leans back and takes another sip.
Something brushes down his hand. Something like cool as he sits, like stopping. I'll type what it is in a Facebook.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say Sahira comes back, but I don't think Sahira even needs to roll to know that there's flirting going on.
Oh boy.
She's gonna hang back and kind of let this happen. I'll slip back on a smile on his face and slip that back into his pocket.
Garrett just he isn't really blushing, but he's got definitely a Cheshire cat grin at this point. He just kind of looks over. Oh, Sahira. Well, you come over and join us.
Not really my thing, but okay.
She'll stroll on over. She has kind of a devious smile, and she'll say, I mean, y'all seem pretty comfortable by yourselves.
Garrett will just look at other Garrett and wink at him out of the corner of his eye.
No, we're
Well,
good.
I suppose you could say that, Sahira.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 100% innocent.
Of course.
This year. Common, shy, blonde, Midwestern from Jersey, new boy.
Hey, that's true, all right.
No.
Sahira will chuckle to herself. Before we order another drink for herself, since she's probably killed her first death on the vine.
We'll move to something a little harder than a beer. Nothing that'll fucking waste him right now. But he'll get a Maker's Mark and Coke.
All right, yeah.
I like this bar. It's got good people in it.
I suppose you could say that.
Zahira's just looking between the Garretts right now.
If they get married, just by chance, run with me here for a moment. Whose name is going to go where on the invitation? The Garretts.
Well, technically, my Garrett would insist that his last name be the one because you'd be marrying into the clan.
Oh, I see.
Ooh.
I'm a strong, independent man. I don't need your clan. And there goes.
I have no idea how much Zahira struggled not to make a Highlander joke, but she knew that was going to be hella offensive.
Garrett, back in character at this point, Garrett just takes one more sip from his drink and pushes his parcel back, stands up. I'll be right back. I think I'm about to make a trip to the wee men's room myself.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He just winks at the other Garrett, and walks off.
His mouth forms a little O, and he looks back at Saphira like, help? Was that he'll be right back wink, or was that go wink?
Zahira's going to have to roll with sympathy. To like kind of look at Garrett, werewolf Garrett, and kind of be like, so what's going on? Okay, there's one. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's two. Okay, there's two. She's kind of like,
Be my wingman girl.
It was a leaving it open to interpretation kind of wink.
Yeah, he's looking at her like his entire life depends on her right now.
okay, Zahira is just going to look at Changeling Garrett and say, this decision is yours to make.
Oh, there's no decision here. He'll slap money down on the table for the drink.
Have a good time.
Oh,
If we're not careful, I name him after you.
Mm-hmm.
well, so do we want to end this scene there, or just say it? They were gone for 20 minutes and came back wearing each other's shirts.
Zahira will. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck? Why did you? That was a short time."
He would have put out in a bar. The man deserves better than that. Jesus Christ, he just would have made out with him.
I mean,
but shirts can happen. They can change shirts.
Yeah,
totally. Just a little making out, nothing bad.
Suck your dick, whatever. Excuse me if I cry out my name, but whatever. He will actually, at some point while they're making out, he will moan out Garrett's name and stop and just kind of he looks very unsettled for 2 seconds, then he goes with it. He's like, I want to get used to that. I have to get used to that. So he'll kind of press his forehead to his. We can fade back after this. Do you want to go back to Saphira and then leave on your own, or would you like to go back to my place tonight?
Well, we should definitely go back and show that we didn't just leave her. I think I could make a stop at your house tonight.
Have a little drink, dance, see where things go.
Dancing. I love dancing. It's my favorite thing.
Elephant.
Well, second favorite thing.
I have records. We can slow dance to Gershwin. I'll nod.
You will go back to making out with him for another 5 minutes.
Yes, and he definitely shirts him. He's wearing a black shirt, like a black, and it does smell heavenly. And I'll come back.
Yeah.
His shirt that's probably a little too tight because he's a big guy. I'll sit down looking at Saphira. Don't worry, I protected my rose.
She'll nod, and she'll look, and she'll say, I assume the line in the restroom was very long.
It was terrible. We had to fight. I broke a nail.
No.
Yeah.
Completely. Or at least four times as many people as you'd expect in that bathroom. It was honestly quite disgusting.
Ugh. Nice place, but lavatories leave a little bit to be desired. It's like the Met.
But they had some really nice art on the walls, I will admit.
They did. Well, odd. That's not anymore. Anyway.
Aye, it was very nice. And Garrett, Werewolf Garrett, has that big it is now a Cheshire Cat grin, and his hair is a bit more tousled than it was, in addition to the shirt.
This one looks like his hair's still perfect, but it didn't even fuck up when he was making out. It's all angelic, fucking glowy, Jesus Christ.
Except my Garrett doesn't have supernatural Ferris powers to keep his hair perfect.
Well, yeah, no, he's not super Ferris, although he does have that Primal Urge score.
That is a thing.
So, Saphira, I have an idea. Why don't the three of us meet up for lunch tomorrow? Brunch? Do we brunch? Lunch? What day is it? It's not Saturday. Okay.
I'm fine with lunch or brunch.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let's go with brunch. I don't think I've had a proper brunch before. I'm down to try that.
Find a proper brunch in... We'll find out. Whatever. If not, I'll make you one. That's not... Again, that didn't... Just hang his head.
It's fine. It's no big deal.
He'll look up. He feels redeemed. He'll pull out his phone, give her his phone number. Well, Garrett doesn't need his number right now. I'll get it later.
Yeah, Sahira will give Garrett her number too.
Mm-hmm. Well, which one you have to specify? There's two of them.
Sahira and Garrett, Werewolf one, have already exchanged numbers.
Okay.
Which one am I being saved into the phone as? Well, he'll kind of ask her. Like, this is important.
She'll say, okay, complete honesty. She'll point to Werewolf Garrett and say, Scottish Garrett. And then points to Changeling Garrett and says, Jersey Garrett.
My nickname is Joey Biscuits. Do you want to know why my nickname is Joey Biscuits?
Why?
See, because we were on this really big investigation, and it took us all the way down out of jurisdiction to Virginia. And there's this restaurant called Waffle House. And I had to come up with a cover name off the top of my head. And usually when we come up with cover names, we actually just pick random shit around the room, like fucking Kaiser Soze, for what we want to get called. And I looked down at the menu, and there was the Uncle Joe's pork chops and the Avondale salad. And so I made my my cover name Joe Avondale. But my partner, being the fucking bitch that she was, I loved her, oh my God. She looks up at me and she's like, you know, from now on, I'm going to call you Joey Biscuits. And I thought I was going to piss myself in public. And so I've been Joey Biscuits ever since.
Joey Biscuits.
Oh, my boyfriend messaged me. How was that a game?
Yeah, I figured that was Johnny out again. It's all good.
I'm sorry, we're being recorded. It's been so long.
All good. Hey, sorry.
No, Garrett did that. Sorry, other Garrett.
Y'all can get Paulie.
Hashtag heartbroken.
Y'all can get Paulie. It's all good. I think it's okay as long as you know Werewolf Garrett's alpha of this whole thing.
So he'll definitely get in his goodbyes in with Saphira if Garrett's ready to go. He's not gonna force him out the door, obviously.
Yeah, Garrett will exchange goodbyes with Saphira as well.
I'll give her a hug if she'll allow it.
Nah, she's totally down for that.
But definitely get back to me on a house of worship. I've got to find one, honestly. And I'd like to have somebody to go with.
Oh yeah, sure thing. There's been a place I've been going to since I got here. I'm definitely down for showing it to you.
Okay, definitely. Okay. So yeah, I have to actually get out of the hangout soon. So
I gotcha. So,
don't have to-
you want to do the outro, Tim?
Yeah, sure thing. It'll also serve as a really nice way to give some insight into Sahira as a character. As you know, all the characters say their respective goodbyes to one another and leaves. Sahira's the last one out. She wants to stay a bit longer. Eventually, she'll go and head out. When she heads out, she will whip out her phone. And she'll pull up, the Notes app, where she has she has a few diary entries, and she'll start up the latest one with the current date and say, reintegration into normal life is so far a success. Decided to go out, met some awesome people. She'll just kind of end it there, put her phone in her purse, and then head on home. And we can end our scene there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you again soon.